That was a little creepy. My desk. Go ahead and poke around. If you want to know the particulars of how I do what I do, take a look at the book titled How to Be a Detective. It's real helpful, especially if you're new to the mystery-solving business. And be sure to check out my scrapbook. I put memorabilia from all my past cases in there. A lot of them were pretty dangerous, and at times really scary. But don't say anything about that to my dad, okay? He worries about me enough as it is. And whatever you do, read what's in the file called Case File. That will tell you all about the mystery I'm about to try to solve. If you think you're ready to dive into that mystery, just click on the plane ticket and you'll be on your way. As always, your mission is to solve the mystery by stepping into my shoes and deciding my every move. That was a little creepy. But before you get started, maybe I should explain some of the things you'll be seeing on the screen. On the lower left side of the screen, you'll see icons for the things that I, Nancy Drew, need, like my inventory, journal and task list, cell phone. While on the lower right side of the screen, you'll see icons for the things you as the player need, like options, load, save, and exit icons. The icon in the mat above the screen lets you know when I'm wearing something I found in the course of the game. Take a look at the chapter titled Icons for more details. In this game, you can use your cell phone to call Ned Nickerson. He's my boyfriend. And you can call Bess Marvin, one of my best friends who's sharing this adventure with me. In fact, by calling Beth, you can actually become her. And by calling me, you can become me. You'll discover that using the phone to switch back and forth like that will come in very handy in this game. To get from one place to another in the game, just move your cursor around on the screen and click when an arrow pointing in the direction you want to go appears. An arrow pointing forward allows you to go forward, while a back arrow allows you to step back. Sometimes up and down arrows are available too. Give it a try. Find the forward arrow and check out Mr. Woogle Woggle. He's my teddy bear. When you want to turn around, move your cursor to the bottom of the screen until it turns into an arrow that looks like a U-turn or back arrow and click. I always use my magnifying glass to scan my surroundings for clues. When it turns red, I know I'm onto something. When your magnifying glass turns into a question mark, you can talk to someone. When it becomes a hand, you can use it to open and close things, pick up objects, and move things around. To see how this works, move your mouse over this scene until the magnifying glass turns red, then click to zoom in. See how the magnifying glass turned into a hand when you rolled it over the key? That means you can pick it up. When you click on an object with a hand cursor, that object gets added to your inventory. To see what's in your inventory, just click on the inventory icon at the bottom of the screen. To use an item that's in your inventory, just click on it. In fact, try clicking on the key. See how the cursor turned into the item you clicked on? Use the key to click on the lock on my suitcase, and you'll see how good I've gotten at packing. To return an object to your inventory, just click on the inventory icon. Then click on the Open Inventory box, and the object will go back into storage. You can close your inventory by clicking on the square in the upper right-hand corner, by clicking on the inventory icon, or by clicking on another icon. I keep reminders to myself in my journal. Click on the notebook icon at the bottom left of the screen and you'll see what I mean. I try to keep my notes tidy by putting them into categories. Just click on a category and you'll see all the entries on that topic I've made up to that point in the game. Click on the clipboard icon, and if you're a junior detective, you'll see a list of what I need to do. Organized person that I am, once I've done something, I check it off. When you want to make a phone call, just click on the cell phone icon, and you'll be able to call anyone whose number I've come across during the game. Just click on a name, and the phone will do the rest. Other icons may appear down here as well, like a coin purse or an especially useful device that you stumble upon in the course of the game. And while we're on the subject, it's a good idea to save your game from time to time while you're playing, just in case. Click on the folder icon and you'll be able to load a previously saved game. Just scroll through the thumbnails, select the game you want, then click on Load. Or if you click on New, you can start the game over from the beginning. The gear icon allows you to determine how you experience the game. You can also adjust the volume of the music, voices, and sound effects, as well as turn off the closed captioning text and change the color of the background mat. If you have to stop playing and leave the game, just click on the exit icon. Questioning suspects is something all detectives need to know how to do. In the game, to get people to talk to you, all you have to do is click on them. Let's say I've clicked on Mr. Woogle Woggle here. Our conversation will appear in the text box, with his words in yellow and my responses in blue. Click on a response and see what your suspect says next. If there are a lot of words in the text box, use the scroll bar to move the text up and down so you can read along.
Excuse me, giant human person, but you seem to be pretty nosy, especially for someone who hardly even has a nose. I mean, compared to mine.
You think so? Usually people only call me nosy when they're hiding something. Before you can start playing, you need to decide whether to play as a junior or senior detective. If you choose junior detective, you'll get more hints than you will if you're a senior detective, and the puzzles will be a little easier. When you're ready to start playing, just click on the plane tickets and hang on to your hat. Current assignment. What assignment? Bess and I are flying to New Orleans for a long weekend of fabulous music, sightseeing, and food. Okay, so I'm also going to visit Ned's friend, Henry Bolet, but only as a favor to Ned. Apparently, Henry's uncle just died, and he had to go down there for a couple of weeks. Ned says Henry's a nice guy, but kind of a loner who might appreciate a little company. So, the first thing I'll do is leave Bess at our hotel in the French Quarter and take a cab out to the mansion where Henry's staying. Ned called him and said I'd be coming. But once that's done, it'll be lazy les bon temps brûlés. The only bad news is the weather's not supposed to be that great this weekend. But what's a little stormy weather when you're in the heart of the Big Easy, right? Right. Hello? Anybody here? Hi, the door was open.
Here, drink this.
What is it?
Something that'll make you feel better. Drink it. Just a couple sips.
No thank you.
Don't make her drink any of your weirdo concoctions. Then I really will have to take her to the emergency room.
You just go back to your phone call and leave us be. Don't pay him any mind.
Where am I?
You're at Henry Bolet's house, dear, in the library. He and I carried you in here after I found you unconscious in the foyer.
Why is it so dark in here?
The electricity went out. Lightning must have struck a transformer somewhere. What happened? Can you remember?
Well, the front door was open, so I walked in, and then I saw this... Well, I saw a skeleton. And then he saw me. And then the light started flickering, and he threw something at me that exploded. Well, the smoke must have made me pass out.
You saw a skeleton?
I'm sure it was just someone, wearing a costume or something. I'm Nancy Drew, by the way. I came to see Henry.
So we surmised. I'm Renee Amand. I'm Bruno Bolet's housekeeper. That is, I was. This skeleton that attacked you, perhaps we should call the police.
No emergency room, no police. Things are complicated enough as it is.
Henry's feeling a mite overwhelmed. Well, you are looking much better, so I'm gonna get back to my plant potting. You need anything? I'll be outside in the garden.
I should call them and keep them on hold for 5 hours and see how they like it.
So, Nancy, nice to meet you. Ned sent you here to check up on me, huh?
Do you mind?
Not really. Ned's a nice guy. I mean, I really don't know him that well, just from school. But when I mentioned that my only living relative just died, he was all like, "Yeah? How you feeling, man? You doing okay? Wanna talk?" Of course, I guess I do come across as a little needy sometimes.
Were you very close to your uncle?
Great Uncle Bruno, and no, I wasn't. My parents died in a car crash when I was 8. Since I had no other relatives, he took me in, or should I say he shipped me out. Boarding school, summer camp, military school, college. He may have looked after me, but he never spent any time with me. I didn't know him at all.
Yet you came all the way down here for the funeral?
Not really. Great Uncle Bruno named me executor of his estate, which means I have to make sure all his bills are paid and debts taken care of so his assets can be distributed. Unfortunately, he couldn't have cared less about little things like keeping records or balancing checkbooks. Dealing with his creditors and their lawyers has been an absolute nightmare. So, thanks for stopping by, Nancy. And now you can report back to Ned that I'm fine and go enjoy New Orleans.
No, I can't. Not until I know who that skeleton man was and what he was doing here and why he knocked me out like that. Look, I can understand you're not wanting to call the police, but somebody should investigate. And since playing detective is kind of a hobby with me...
No offense, but are you sure you didn't just pass out from the heat and humidity or something and dream that you saw the skeleton dude?
It's possible, I guess. But I'd like to look around just the same.
Okay, look around all you want. But I should probably warn you, Uncle Bruno was into exotic pets. Didn't believe in cages, so he gave him the run of the place. And just because he's dead doesn't mean they are. So if you're gonna go poking around, be careful.
Nancy, welcome to my little lantern-lit corner of the world.
Looks like you like to grow things.
I do indeed. Herbs mostly. And because I'm in constant need of 'em, I grow 'em in pots.
So you're still doing the cooking even though Bruno Bollet is gone?
I don't use these herbs for cooking, darling. Did you and Henry have a nice chat?
We talked.
Henry's a very morose, very negative young man. Very cunning, too. In fact, I'm fairly certain that he's been selling off Dr. Bollet's belongings on the sly.
What kind of belongings?
Just little things, odds and ends, really. But the lawyers made it very clear that no assets were to be liquidated until all of Dr. Bollet's affairs are settled. According to Dr. Bollet's will, Henry is to get 30% of the estate. Dr. Bollet's physician, Gilbert Buford, gets 30%. Our Lady of Route 57 School of Dentistry and Cosmetology gets 30%. And I am to receive 10%.
If you don't like Henry that much, how come you're still here?
I'm here because Dr. Bollet paid me in advance, and I always fulfill my obligations.
If you don't mind my asking, what's in that little pouch you wear around your neck?
Things. Secret things. Things that give me special talents when special times demand them. People usually laugh when I say this, but this pouch is my connection to the energy that powers the universe.
Oh.
Well, at least you didn't laugh.
What was in that concoction you wanted me to drink after I got knocked out?
Never you mind. It was just a little remedy I brewed up on the spot to help you feel better.
I'll see you later.
One more thing. I, too, have seen the skeleton man. After Dr. Bollet passed, that night, I saw him in the hallway. He was there, then he was gone. So you best be careful, Nancy Drew, because if it was Mr. Death, and I truly think it was, he's come back.